Yo, what's up, my people? Yes, sir. Back in the building. Good afternoon, all my peeps, all my No Duck Zone family. What's up, man? Good afternoon, all y'all, man. Feeling good, man, on this Monday, man. Almost didn't make it back on here, y'all. Almost canceled today, man. I just finished eating. The itis was kicking in. I almost didn't make it, but I didn't want to push this off for another day, so I had to come back. I hope everybody's had a great Monday afternoon. Just a great Monday period traveling, man. Um, Hope everybody's enjoying the weather. Know the weather here in New York is great, and I hope everywhere else is the same. And we're finding ways to stay safe. Second live for the day. I got to come back with a third one. So this live, I'm not going to be able to do too long, but I'm going to make it worth it. At least an hour if I can. We're going to be talking about the best referees in boxing history. All right, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, man. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. Underrated.
What's good?
I'm back again. I'm back
I
to annoy
see.
people.
See, you broke my record. Let me stop.
Listen, I got to come back here, right here. I got to come back tonight at 8 o'clock, bro.
Oh yeah, you on the move.
I got this. I ordered my first bottle of KFC toothpaste. Shut up, D Free. Shut up, D Free. We are not doing this. Yeah, so I got a young lady and I gotta reach out to her just to make sure,
Yeah.
because she's a young amateur. The girl can fight her ass off. Um, but she'll be back on here today, 8 p.m. And then that's gonna be it for me because this week is gonna be such a busy week. Not to say I'm not gonna be able to do lives, but all my lives are gonna be in the afternoon. There probably won't be any morning chop ups this week. But I'm going to make up for it. I always do. But I have other things that I have to attend to that pertains to no Doug Zone in my household that I gotta make work. Because if not, I'll be in trouble. But how you feeling, brother? Underrated?
I'm fine. I did a live not too long ago, and I'm blessed. Shout
I
out to
wasn't even
her.
home, man. I didn't even see that. You know what? These notifications are a problem because I'm not getting no notifications when you go live. It's like I have to just be on YouTube already to see it. That pisses me off. I gotta figure out why is that a problem. And I'm not the only one they did that with. There's a couple other people where they go, yo, they playing with the notifications. Um, so we gotta see what that is. We'll figure that out. So
Yeah.
while we on here, we're talking about the best referees in boxing history, underrated. Which there's a conversation that's not really happened much. People talk about what referees they like, but I don't think there's been a topic on the best referees in boxing history. When you think of that, because you go back a little further than I do in boxing, um, what's one of the referees that comes to your head when you think about one of the best referees?
Ruby Goldstein.
Wow, wow. Mm. Oh man, you might have got some people silent on that one. Um, what era was he in?
He was doing the area back in like in the 1940s and 50s. I think
Yeah.
he went did 1960 up to 1960s and 70s and stuff. So he's one of the best. I watched him when I was like preteen, but at that time he was old, old at the time. He passed away. I believe in the mid '80s, something like that. But Ruby
Oh, so
Goldstein.
he lived a long time.
Yeah.
Uh, what were some of the things you liked about him as a ref?
What I like about him as a ref, he let the fighters fight. But he do not tolerate like any hit the top of the head. He was fair. He was firm though.
Yeah,
It's like that. They are some refs because they are fans
yeah,
of the boxers of the fighters. But he
yeah,
was firm though. He had his own way to control the fight, and I like that. I like that. So when he passed away, that hurt a little bit because he's one of the few referees that I watched and even like I read up on, when I was growing up.
yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. That's. I'm probably gonna have to look him up because that was way before any of our time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See, and this is why we all have to do our history or do our homework because somebody will say that's not part of our history, and it's like it's a part of boxing history. Oh, I'm sorry, D Free. I thought I sent it to you, D Free. I didn't send you the link. Holy cow! No, you know what? I didn't. I just made this live up earlier. Okay, hold on. I got you now, D Free. Yeah, so people say something about the history, and I'm like, but this is the history. If you're a boxing fan and you are trying to learn the history or somebody's telling you something, this is part of the history.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't tell us somebody that who don't know because they're like, just because it's old and it's in the past, that doesn't mean that it's not history.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the kind of nonsense you deal with when you're talking to people. But it is what it is.
So
You got to send me his name too, so I can go look him up.
okay. I said, do you want me to put it in the chat or you want to put it in your IG? I'll put it in your IG. He be back.
It's crazy, yo. Uh, hold on. YouTube be tripping, man. I
I
don't know what
know.
they be having. I don't know what YouTube be having going on sometimes. D Free, my bad, my brother. What's up, Free? Bruce Gas, I see you. I see you out there. What was the other referee you was about to say underrated before we was interrupted?
I'm saying Steve Smolger, but
Smoger?
no Smoker. Yeah,
Yeah, rest in peace to Steve Smoger, man. One of my favorites too, man.
yeah.
Oh, Ruby Goldstein. Okay, I seen you send me him. Yeah, I'm gonna look up Ruby Goldstein. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know referees from back from that time, so I'm glad you mentioned that to me. I needed that. That's dope. Yeah. So who we just said now? Steve Smoger.
Steve Smoker. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He was a zero tolerance referee.
Yeah.
He was, to me, he was fair. Um, but he didn't take no nonsense.
Nah, he ain't take no. He don't care. You know.
And he was a little referee too. It's not like he was a big guy.
No.
And
He about like
he's refereed some giant fighters. But
yeah.
one thing
He
about Steve
about like
Smoger,
5. Yeah, he about
yeah,
like 5'3".
Steve Smoger didn't take any nonsense.
Nah, he
Um,
was about like 5'3", 5'4", something like that.
yeah, Steve Smoger was a little guy, but he didn't
Yeah.
he didn't take any nonsense. Now for me, I would have to go with Joe Cortez.
Oh yeah, one of the greats. Yeah.
Joe
Still,
Cortez was one of mine.
still living
What
too.
about you, Free? When you think of some of the best referees in boxing, from your time, it doesn't have to exactly be today, but even from your time, who do you think about when you think about the best referees in boxing?
Let's get it on. Huh?
Mills Lane.
That's my one.
Oh yeah,
What start?
he's cheating. D Free's cheating.
2017. Yeah.
D Free's cheating. I swear, D Free ain't nothing but a damn cheater. He gonna walk right in here and say the referee of referees. He ain't nothing but a damn cheater. He could have saved that last on the list. He wanted to just jump straight to the point.
What you talking
Damn,
about?
you a cheater, man.
What?
Because you know what Mills Lane meant to boxing. You know what he meant. And when you say
Mills Lane,
referees, that dude right there is Jesus.
Mills Lane has always been my all-time favorite referee. I used to
Yeah,
watch his little court show when he had Judge Mills Lane. He
yeah,
was
I
always my
watched that too.
all-time.
Yeah.
He was my all-time. I don't care about none of the other referees. Even Cortez, I know who Cortez is. I ain't really care about him that much. It was just Mills Lane.
Where would y'all put? And there's a lot of other referees I would like to mention from back in the days. I can't really remember a lot of them. I can only think of the ones that I know. Um, where would you and underrated? Where would y'all list Jack Reese at? Where would you put him?
Who?
Jack Reese.
I'm trying to picture. I know the name. I'm trying to picture the face.
He refereed the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight when the first.
Oh, I put that nigga at the bottom.
Real
You know
bottom.
what? You know what?
I'll put him in the sewage.
Well, never mind.
He,
Why did I mention his
he's
name? Never mind.
he's the reason why Dagon Wilder had to fight Tyson Fury a second time.
Second time. Yup.
Because Tyson Fury was supposed to be knocked out.
Yup.
Wow,
animal eater.
Man, Tyson Fury told on him. He said, man, when I woke up, the referee was at 5. Well, the only way you can wake up is if you was asleep.
Well, if you didn't like that one, then I don't know how y'all gonna respond to this next guy. But let's see how y'all do. Richard Steele.
1B.
He's the reason why Rolly became a champion.
You know what? You're free. Knock it off.
If it was
Knock it off, free.
Was that him or was that Tony Weeks? That was Tony Weeks.
No,
you're
right. No, I think that's the first right. That's him.
Richard Steele is the reason why daggone my boy, what's his name? Mildred Taylor didn't beat Chavez.
Yeah, a lot of people still criticized him from that fight, even though that had been years ago.
Bro, it was only like 5 seconds, 7 seconds left on the clock.
Yep.
I'm like, dog, so you would have told him to fight. Even if he would have swung one more time, the punch wouldn't have landed. The belt would have already rung.
Right.
Where would you rank you and underrated? Where would you rank Richard Steele? Where would you rank him as though, despite all that?
I don't know. I mean, I gotta go back and watch fights because some of these referees, they had some questionable decisions. Some of these referees was a little too involved.
I think that Richard Steele, for me, he was like Don King's son, Don King's father.
Yeah, damn.
So I didn't really care about Richard Steele. Every time he went around Don King Productions, I said something's gonna happen. Something's wrong gonna happen. You know, it was, to me, it was very inconsistent. So
yeah,
I never really cared for Richard Steele. I mean, like, you know, I didn't know. I mean, like, I don't like the way he come in and look. I don't like the way he's sneakiness and stuff like that. He has some fight. He has some fighters. You know, they hit him way too much. Then he come in and stuff. I don't never like Richard Steele. He's no.
Sheesh. Well, that sums that up. Let's see. We just said his name too. Who was it? Tony Weeks.
Tony Weeks. Oh God! I mean, Tony Weeks, man. Tony Weeks. Sometimes he could be good, and sometimes it's questionable. I mean, like, he did. You know,
I think the problem with Tony Weeks is he's stuck in time. He need to get rid of that damn haircut. Maybe he could think straight.
Well, you know what? Don't do that. Don't do that. Yo, come on, man.
I think that's his problem. His haircut.
Yo, come on, Free. What are we doing?
Tony Weeks.
Y'all make me sick.
Tony Weeks has ref for some iconic fights, but again, he's inconsistent. I mean, like,
give me these guys that we talk about, right? All the ones that we just named. Give me a fight where you felt like they had made a poor call, or they took a point away, or there was a fight that they refereed that they didn't let the guys fight. I mean, because you know we've seen
Tony Weeks.
For Tony Weeks,
it was the daggone Rolly fight when he fought the old man. I don't think that there's a possibility that Rolly would have knocked him out, but I think the old man was straight at the time that he stopped the fight.
Yeah, it's not like he was
if you should have stopped it earlier, then that was your fault. The time has passed. The dude is straight now.
And at that time, they were preparing Rolly. After that, to fight who? Was Rolly getting ready for? Did he fight Pitbull after that?
He fought Pitbull after that, but that wasn't the reason why. Pitbull wasn't at 140 at that time.
No, they were trying to set. Wasn't they trying to set Rolly? They were trying to set Rolly and somebody up at the time. Before we even heard of Pitbull being in it, it was somebody else that they were trying to set up with Rolly, and they were trying to make sure Rolly had got that win so that fight can happen, but it never happened.
No, it wasn't Rolly.
No, it was Rolly and somebody I thought they were trying to get going before I heard of Pitbull. I gotta think about it. I'll come back with it later because I can't think of it right now. But yeah, that old man was supposed to win that for real.
What happened was it was supposed to have been it was supposed to have been Antoine versus Alberto Puyo. I mean, was it Alberto? No, Piro. No, Alberto Puyo. It was supposed to be Antoine versus Alberto Puyo for that title. Alberto Puyo popped dirty. And
Yeah.
And Rolly and Alberto was supposed to fight because originally it was supposed to be Antoine, but Antoine's team said he wasn't ready to fight for a title yet because Antoine had just came off that questionable stoppage with Rancis, and Mr. Gary Russell was like, nah, he's not quite ready yet, and so they pulled him out of the title fight, and so they was giving it to Rolly. They was giving it to Rolly, but Alberto popped dirty.
Yeah, 20 weeks is all right to me. A lot of those guys, they've been refereeing for some years now, since late 80s, early 90s. So some of them are just used to their ways and how they, they referee a fight. What's our other boy, man? What's our other boy with the funny eyes?
Steve Welks.
Yeah, man. Now, we have seen him in a lot of big fights, just like these other guys. He left me a little confused in the Tank and Lamont Roach. The round when Tank did what he did. He left me confused in that. I didn't so much blame Tank. I also looked at him like, what are we doing? Even though he told him, if you do that, but it shouldn't even have been no conversation. I was lost in that. Did anybody else feel that way? Or were y'all just like, wait a minute, what happened? Because I was lost, and it's not that I wanted to see Tank lose, because even if Lamont would have did that, right is right and wrong is wrong. So I was lost, like, okay, he's getting away with murder right now.
Yeah. I mean, it should have been a knockdown, but like a lot of people say, oh, if it was a knockdown, Tank would have lost the fight. It's not a guarantee that he would have lost the fight. You don't know how the judges were scoring that round. You only know what the final score of the round was. But the judges could have still had Tank winning that round, and with that knockdown, it would have been a 9-9 round.
And y'all stop thinking because somebody get knocked down all the time, they lost the fight. That's not how it works, you idiots.
If a person is winning a round, a knockdown is only -1 point. So you start both fighters off at 10 points. You start both of them off at 10 points. One person is winning a round, so you deduct a point from the other person. So now it's a 10-9 round. A knockdown is -1 point. It's not -2 points. It's -1 point. So if a person lose that round, I mean, if a person was losing that round, scores a knockdown, it don't gain him a point. It just -1 point from the person that was winning the round. See, a lot of people think, oh, you automatically lose 2 points. No, you don't. There's nowhere in the rules where it says it's -2 points. It just says it's scored. Most of the time, it's scored a 10-8 round because they usually award the person that scored the knockdown that round. But there's been times where it was a 9-9 round because the person that was winning the round got dropped in the last couple of seconds of that round. Well, he won the entire round except for that last couple of seconds where he got dropped. So now it's a 9-9 round. It's not a 10-8 round for the person that scored the knockdown at the last 20 seconds of the round. He was losing the entire round.
Talk to him, Free. But they'll never understand that, Free, because they've been doing this boxing longer than you, Free. That's what I mean. What can you tell these guys, right? When you got 2 subscribers and you got 43 shorts, Who gonna argue with you? You the man.
Put your email in there.
Know what I'm saying? Who gonna argue with you,
Yeah.
Free?
Because
You got two.
we had Randy Gordon on our show, and he said you don't have to score a 10-9 round or whatever. It's a 10-point must system. Mean you can go up the 10 points. You can go up to 10 points. He said, but he said if you see that neither one of these guys did pretty much anything, it's not necessarily that you have to score 10 points for the round. According to what he said, hey, don't get mad at me. Don't argue with me. That's what he said. You can go back and watch the live. Thomas did it. Go look at the last live that Thomas did with Randy Gordon. He said it on it. He said I would have scored. He said I would start off at 1. As you win the round, you get more points. He said some people can have it a 7-6 round. I was like, huh? He was like, yeah, 10 points is the most you can go. That's not mean that you have to go 10 points. I was like, hey, I can't argue with you. You the commissioner. You know what the rules are. I can't argue with you.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these cats don't get it. Dude. It is what it is. So yeah, we have him, and I'm trying to think of Arthur McCanley.
But
He's a good referee. Arthur's good too.
But yeah, going back to Steve, I mean, like I said, he started the count. He should have ruled it a knockdown. He was like, hey, look, you touched the canvas without getting my approval or whatever to call a timeout or whatever have you, because it's at the referee's discretion whether they call a timeout or not. A referee could say, hey, timeout. He got some stuff in his eyes, because they call timeout all the time. We see them call timeout all the time. They're like, no, there's no timeout in boxing. We see them call timeout all the time. When the fight had already started, they're fighting. One of the guys pointed at the daggone camera and said, hey, man, it's slippery right here. They'll call timeout and tell them, hey, give me a couple of towels and go wipe the hands off. That's the timeout.
Yeah, and also they call a timeout when the boxer tape come out of hand. They even call a timeout that so they could straighten it and get the tape out.
Yeah, you know what? I've actually seen it, but I never thought of it that way. That timeout is called in boxing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see them call timeout when the tape is is hanging off the glove. We see them call timeout when a boy's shorts is coming down too far. The referee got to fix his shorts. The referee will step in and fix his shorts or whatever. We see it all the time. So it's up to the referee discretion to call a timeout. So if the referee wanted to call a timeout, he could have said, hey, timeout real quick. Let me get a towel, wipe his eye out.
Yeah, even sometimes they call a timeout if they shoestrings untied. Sometimes they call a timeout to make sure they tie their shoestrings.
Yeah, so I mean, it's at the referee's discretion when to call a timeout. Now, the boxer can't call a timeout, but the referee can.
Can, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, that's why I'm glad that they are having a rematch, because now the score will be settled. Either Tank Davis will win legitimately, or Lamont Roach will win legitimately.
What do you? What? I mean, it's hard to tell, but what do you think was a good referee for that rematch?
I think for that fight,
yeah.
I think somebody need to go suck all the abominant fluid out of out of Mills Lane and breathe life back into his body.
Oh man, Mills Lane.
You mean put it into Kenny Bayless?
Yeah. Mills Lane probably would have took a point for him for turning his back.
No, I know Mills Lane would have took a point. I mean, he would have counted as a knockdown. Mills Lane definitely would have counted as a knockdown.
Man, listen.
Now, I know Mills Lane had some questionable decisions in certain fights. I can't recall none, but I know every referee has them. There's not a single referee you say, hey, he didn't have a questionable stoppage or whatever have you. Every referee had it. I just can't recall any that Mills Lane had. And like I said,
Yeah,
I know he
absolutely.
has. I'm almost certain Bruce Gas can think of one. If Kurt Anderson was alive, I know he could think of one. I know
Oh yeah, rest in peace.
Stormy B Man could think of one. Scrapbook can think of one. I just can't think of one right now. But I know there's not a single referee that didn't have a questionable stoppage, a questionable call in the fight, or a questionable point deduction, or whatever have you. Every referee has had it. Now, some referees are better than others, and some referees have done that multiple times. But every referee has done it at least once.
Yeah, yeah. There's no like perfect referees that they've never been in those situations and everything. Every time they had a fight, everything was just A-okay. And it's like, nah.
No.
Referees could be judged on different things. Stopping the fight too fast, letting the guy get away with rabbit punches, not letting guys fight. There's so many different ways you can judge a fighter. I mean, judge a referee. Like, yo, man, you won't let them fight. He's rabbit punching. You stop the fight too fast. You talking to the fighters too much. You know how when they stop them, some of them talk to the fighters too much. And I'll be like, ref, all right, move out the way. Shut up. Let them fight.
Yeah, that's what I had a problem with certain fights when Kenny Bayless ref.
Kenny Bayless, that's who I was thinking of too.
Yeah, see, we gotta understand, like, we have the luxury of watching it at home or watching it on a big screen, but the referee is in the ring, so all that stuff is being called at real time and off of what he sees going on. So a lot of times we might see things a little bit different because we're watching it from a different angle, but the referee is looking directly in these fighters' eyes. We don't know exactly what he sees. We just go by what we think we see.
Yeah.
But he's watching them up close and personal. Hey, that one eye could be wandering, but we don't see that eye is wandering. It look like he's straight, but he could be looking like Steve Wilkes right at the time that they asked him, "Are you all right?"
D Freeze an ass.
No, I'm just being honest.
You're a pure ass, You're a pure ass.
They
you play too damn much. You play too much, man. You don't know where the eye is.
Okay, my bad. I'm gonna leave Steve out of it. They could be looking like Tevin Farmer at the time that they
underrated. 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 Your next referee, because I don't have time to be playing with you.
I wonder how many times the referee was about to stop the fight for Tevin Farmer when he got knocked down. And they looked at him, they like, "Are you all right?" And they were like, "Oh, damn, that's Tevin Farmer. Damn, his eyes are already like that." We let him go. Because just think about you looking at his face and seeing if he's straight. But then you just see that one eye wander. You like, oh, damn, he might be hurt. he might be hurt for real.
Yo, oh my God, this dude is out of control, B. Oh, I don't have time for free.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God,
I know me. I'm in a moment, and I'm watching the fight, and he goes down, and I get him up. And I start counting. I'm like, you all right? And I look at his face. I'm like, oh, you sure you all right? Yeah. Oh shit, this Tevin. Oh yeah, he good. He good.
Give me another referee, you fool. Jesus Christ. Give me another referee, because I don't have time for free and his shenanigans today, man.
Joe Cortez.
No, we said Joe Cortez.
You trying to tell me everybody looked at Tevin Farmer was like, okay, yeah, he all right. His eyes always wander like that. Or
I didn't know I didn't know. Let me tell you something. You know how long I went before knowing that his eyes was like that? I didn't really know until I looked at the video when him and Tank ran into each other. I don't know, was they in the hotel lobby, wherever the hell he was? And when they put the camera on him, I realized
that was the most funniest in the count. I mean, interaction between two fighters because Tevin
Yeah.
Farmer kept going at Tank, and Tank was like, "Won't you get a belt?" But Tank wasn't looking at him. It looked like Tank couldn't look at him directly in his face. Tank kept looking away. I was like,
he kept turning to the Tank kept turning to the side. And that shit was, now that I think about it, that shit was funny.
No, Tank wasn't trying to get dizzy. He was like, man, I can't look this man in his eyes and be serious. He's like, this man, I'm gonna crack him laughing.
Even when Tevin touched him and he said, "Oh, don't touch me," he was still looking away then.
No,
I was like,
I know,
this shit is
I know me because I am such a comedian. If I was to ever get into it, I'm be like, dog, can you even see me? I'm not over there. I'm right here in front of you, dog.
See, you see a riot gonna break out just because your smart mouth.
We would get into a fight right there on the spot because it ain't gonna wait till the ring because I'm gonna be sitting there clowning you the whole time. I'm like, dog, do you even see me? Let me stand over here because you looking over here. Let me stand over here.
See,
you keep looking straight. I'm gonna stand right here.
See, Free the type that he just gonna start a whole bunch of problems. And Cat's gonna be like, I ain't waiting to Saturday night. Like, I'm ready to fight now.
I tell you right now, nobody better not bring me to the entourage. Cause I see, so I'm be going on people. I'm gonna be roasting people from the audience. Let me go to a press conference. I'm roasting people like a bug in the audience. They gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this dude?"
You see what I mean? Underrated? No common sense.
Be like, when Top Rank and PBC and DAZN and Golden Boy, they were like, man, hey, we can't have that dude here no more. This dude roasted the whole entire staff. This man was going on everybody. We don't know who he's here for. I'm only here for the fight. I ain't got no dog in this race. I'm roasting all of y'all. Like that one dude that was on the stage. I forgot what dude it was. It at the David Benavidez versus David Morrell. It was a skinny white dude. I'm like, dog, what the hell are you doing? You ain't stopping nobody. No, this dude had to be every bit about a good 120 pounds soaking wet. He looked like he was fresh out of high school. I'm like, dog, you standing in between them, they gonna run right past you. And you ain't stopping nobody.
He said run right past you. Hell nah. Yeah, it's some dudes that
I am so psyched right now. I'm hyped as a hell right now.
Why?
Because Washington is coming back to DC. They just approved for the new stadium. Now we just got one last hurdle to get over.
They should have never took it in the first place. I understood why, but still though.
Well, that was from the old owner, not from Dan Snyder, but from the original owner, Robert. The one that passed away. He never even got a chance to see that new stadium in FedEx Field or at Northwest Stadium right now, where it's at.
DC alone, ladies and gentlemen.
He never got a chance to see that. The original owner, he moved to Maryland. Dan Snyder bought it from his son after the first year, because the first year the team was ran by the owner's son, Jack Ken Cook. That's his name, Jack Ken Cook. Jack Ken Cook had moved from DC to Maryland. Jack Ken Cook died the summer that the stadium was done, or I think that spring that the stadium had got finished. He died, so he never got a chance to see the team play in that stadium. His son took over, and his son was running it for that first year. The following year, he sold the team to Dan Snyder. That's how Dan Snyder became the owner, because Jack Ken Cook's son died. Sold it to him. So everybody blamed Dan Snyder for moving the team to DC. Moving them to Maryland, but Dan Snyder never moved them to Maryland. It was Jack Ken Cook, the original owner. He moved them to Maryland. I was like, Dan Snyder didn't move. Dan Snyder didn't even own them the first year that they was in Maryland. Y'all definitely haven't been watching football long enough. He wasn't even the owner when they played their first game at the new stadium. Dan Snyder came the following year.
Well, I don't realize that.
But yeah, they just agreed. They got the land from the federal government because that land was owned by the federal government, and so they had to pass the bill to release that land back to DC, which DC was going to give it to to the commanders. So they finally got that approved. This is the biggest contract in DC's history. This stadium, when they actually start to break ground on the stadium, this joint is going to cost $3.5 billion.
Sheesh.
Now, not only is he building a brand new stadium, but he's building brand new restaurants, condominiums, a new sports complex. All of that stuff is going to be all of those houses that's right there with RFK. All of that stuff is going to get demolished. And it's going to be all brand new condominiums. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to like it because they've been living in that area. They like the area. The cost of living is going to go up. But
Yeah.
who cares? That area needs to be rebuilt. It's a daggone cesspool over there in that area. If you ever been to that part of Benning Road, right there where RFK is, Benning Road, Ben Gone is across the street, and then you got Heckinger Mall down the street. That joint is nothing but bums,
Yeah.
drug addicts, and
Yeah, a lot
drunks
of
that's out there.
quite a few dead in the streets around there too.
Yeah, it's nothing but bums, drug addicts, and drunks that hang out there all day long.
Oh, so yeah, it needs to
rebuild that area.
Yeah, it needs to be changed.
Yeah, so
It needs to be
I'm
changed.
happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, we need change. Change is necessary. I ain't mad about when it comes to change. We need that, man.
Now,
Every
I understand, like I
neighborhood.
said, for some of the old people that's been living over there their whole life, that's all they know. They don't.
Well,
They're gonna
that's the
they're gonna be
problem.
compensated. They're gonna be
I
compensated
mean, that's
because
the problem. When you living somewhere, it's not guaranteed you're supposed to be there for the rest of your life. Some depends on where you at. Some places are only when you in the hood is only supposed to be temporary. So if you
yeah,
decide to live there for the rest of your life and you thinking nothing's going to happen and I'm going to be able to live here in peace, just because you've been here since 1975 when they first put up the neighborhood, that doesn't mean changes happen every day, every year, every hour on hour change happens. So if you're 70 and you're saying I've been here since I've been in my 30s, well, hey, times have
see,
changed.
that's why I said I would never buy a house in DC because I know you don't own the land. You only own the house. As I said, if I was to ever buy a house, it would be in
Yeah,
Virginia
like
or Maryland. I
I,
would never
I
buy a
was
house in
I
DC.
was just talking to my mentor about this. I said you can't live somewhere and been there all your life and then want to complain about how the community is. You know what it is already. You gonna have to go. Or you don't have to go, but don't stand there and complain. You know it is what it is. You want change, get up and go. So if that neighborhood is like you saying it is, then
Oh,
necessary
no.
is necessary is
You,
necessary, which means clean it up.
I'm gonna tell you like this. This is how the neighborhood is. Remember that block where you had the daggone where you had the meet and greet?
Yeah.
Imagine that block, probably 10 times worse. During the day. Not at night. During the day. The night is
Oh,
even worse
man.
than that. Night is even worse than that. But I'm talking about during the day. It's like that all day long.
Hard to work.
All day long.
Hard to walk the streets. Yeah.
No, it's
I
like
don't
that.
want that. I can't function like that.
No,
Yeah, I can't
when I
function.
tell you like that neighborhood, that area, if you're not from that area, you would be nervous to walk down that strip. You'll be nervous to walk down
Mm.
that part of Benning Road. That part of Benning Road, you'll be nervous because it's nothing but dudes on the street all day long, looking like they about to do something. They look like they about to do something. Now, me being from DC, I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me. I walk up and down the street all the time. It doesn't bother me. I did work out there when I used to work for Comcast. I did all types of stuff, so it doesn't bother me. But people that's not from that area and they go there for the first time, them niggas, they be nervous out there, literally.
Mm. Yes.
So
It'd be a lot going on sometimes.
It's gonna be great for the neighborhood in the long run. It's going. I mean, like,
Changes necessary.
anytime they rebuilding something, you're gonna have people that's gonna be against it, but the vast majority is for it. The vast majority is for it because it's gonna bring a lot more. It's gonna bring a lot more money to the city than taken out of the city. Now she's taking 855 million of the tax dollars to help towards this bill, but Josh Harris and his partner is putting up $2.7 billion. So she's giving 855 million, but he's putting 2.7 billion to build all this up. So this is the biggest contract in DC's history. They never had a contract this daggone big. 3.5 billion, never happened.
Yeah.
Even when they put up the new stadium over there for the baseball team, it wasn't that much. It was like I think it was like 1.2 billion. So if you see that's where the stadium is at now, all the stuff that they built up over there, that was 1.2 billion. They talking about 3.5 billion. I could just imagine how much stuff they're going to put in. They talking about all types of stuff: condominiums, restaurants, an indoor sporting area for the kids, for the community, not for the team, for the community. An indoor sport area for the community. Then they're gonna have the stadium. They're gonna have parts in the stadium where if you going to the games, they got a daycare for a daycare for the kids for the players' kids, not the people that's going to the game, but the players' kids. They got a daycare that's going to be there for them when they're practicing and stuff like that. A family center for the players' families. All kinds of stuff. It's all kinds of stuff going to be there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And the most important, it's going to be a dome. So we're going to have a Super Bowl in DC. That's the most important part. It's going to be a dome.
When are they expecting when is it expecting to be done?
It will be done 5 years from now. It will be done for the season of 2030. That season of 2030.
We might not all be on YouTube at that time, man. We're gonna be established. I'll be established.
I'll be a full-time podcaster on YouTube. I'll probably be one of the reporters on YouTube.
Man, look,
talking to the players when they come in.
It ain't gonna take us 5 years, but we got work to do. So we'll be where we need to be. Shit, I can't think of no more referees, man. Oh my God. I think I ran out of referees. I mean, whoever watching this, first of all, smash the like button. Feel free
I'm gonna tell you the worst referee. The referee that came out and admitted that he cheated for Manny Pacquiao. I can't think of that referee's name, but that's on the top of my list as the worst referee. When the one that did that interview, I think it was like 2 years ago, or maybe it was like 2 years ago. And this man came out and admitted that he cheated for Manny Pacquiao.
Ain't that crazy?
He cheated. I was like, damn, this man literally cheated. Because I remember the fight. He called the fight early. He stopped the fight early and gave the victory to Manny Pacquiao. Because the dude was giving Manny Pacquiao some problems. And Manny Pacquiao landed a good shot, and the referee stopped the fight. He stopped the fight. And that dude's career has never been the same since.
Yeah. Careful. Yeah, but it's a busload of the referees. We named the ones that they well known, but like I said, there's some out there I go, your career was questionable, my man. Then there's others where I'm just like, yo, it is what it is. But I thought this was a cool segment just to have some of the best referees in the history of boxing. Anybody rewatches this, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section because it might have been something I overlooked, or it might be a referee that I didn't know about. But it's a lot of them out there. We named some good ones. Mills Lane was definitely always one of my favorite ones. Um, he didn't play that. He didn't. There was a lot of them that didn't play that, but I know he was one of them. Steve Smoker didn't play that. Joe Cortez didn't play that. It's a couple of them that was on that type of time and that didn't play that. Um, but yeah, so many of them that I could think of. Uh, yeah. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what's up. This joint tripping. BBO, I see you. Salute. So we was talking about just so I was explaining the D3. I thought they was hearing me. They took me out again, man. We were talking about the best referees in boxing history. We went down the list of fighters: Richard Steele, Joe Cortez, Tony Weeks, Mills Lane, Jack Reese, um, Steve Wolko. Like it's so many referees we done talk about. We were speaking on the best ones, the best, one of the best ones in history. We didn't agree on a lot of decisions that referees have made, not letting the fighters fight when they want to, or it's so much that you can sit here and think of about a referee that'll make you say, "Hey, man, I'm not interested in seeing him in the ring refereeing again." The same way we be like, we don't want to see that judge come back. We don't want to we don't want to ever see this fighter come back. And it's the same way when it comes to the referees. We like, nah, man, we don't want to see him referee again. So it's like that. So this is just something where it wasn't going to be a long video, but it was to also give y'all something to think about. Best referees in boxing history. Y'all feel free to leave a comment too on this. Shout outs to D Freeze team who's getting their name back. New stadium. That's what's up. Um, I'm sure the city will be super hype about that. I'm going to get ready to get up off here in a couple of minutes because my for some reason my joint over here acting crazy. It's over here acting real crazy. I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, of course tonight I'll be back again for a third time, 8 p.m. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. BVO Sports TV. Make sure you go subscribe to him, man. My brother Free, you know, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to him and anybody else on here. Oh yeah, my brother underrated darkness. Go make sure you go check him out. I mean, the picture you see with Joe Cortez and Mills Lane will be two of my favorite. Um, I can never deny that. There's a lot of other reps, but mm-mm. Those two right there were just different. And shout out to the rest of the refs. The rest of the refs, It's not to take nothing away from y'all, but Joe Cortez and Mills Lane are just it's just something different with them. You know, Mills Lane will tell you, you know, let's get it on. Joe Cortez will tell you, I'm firm, but I'm fair, and that's what I liked about them. Those were two super powerhouses. Mr. Joe Cortez is still here. I actually have him in my Facebook group, which is dope. I might have to try to get him up here one day to speak and say something. But dope guys, man. I'm keeping this content going, y'all. I'm just trying to step my game up as much as I can. This is why I'll be coming back with a third live tonight. There would be no morning chop up tomorrow morning. So giving you guys a heads up in case guys come around looking. It won't be none in the morning. There's business that has to be attended to. So probably for this week, will it be? I think the only day it might be a morning chop up is probably Friday. Friday might be a day I'm not doing anything. It all depends on how I feel. Sometimes I have my days, you know. I can go on tonight, BBO, but you're gonna have to wait because I have an amateur girl that I'm doing a chop up with. I gotta still reach out to her, but I'm doing on at 8 p.m. I know you guys are going on about the same time, 8:05. I'm not expecting to be on long with her. I'm gonna ask her. Hopefully, I'll probably do it about 30 minutes with her. To be honest with you, it could be anywhere to 30 or 45 minutes. I'm gonna get ready to reach out to her and talk to her about it. So she won't. Sometimes I want people to know what they're walking into, and it's not a big deal. But I gotta talk with her just to make sure everything is still a go for the night, which I haven't heard no changes, but I'm still gonna make sure. Yeah, BBO, I don't have a problem with coming over there. You know me, I'm a normal, regular guy. I don't come over there to argue with nobody. I don't come over there to debate. I come over there to voice my opinion and to join my time with the brothers. And respectfully, that's what I'm going to do because I don't get into all that other nonsense. It's not for me. Yeah, it's not for me. I can't participate in all that. Yeah, but best referees in boxing history. If you guys can think of some, it just don't think because we named the guys that we named. That's all the guys that were the best. No, y'all might have referees that y'all feel like are a part of that, and don't be afraid to leave a comment in the comment section saying who you felt. I don't want to hear who y'all thought was the worst referee. We're not talking about worse. You know what I mean? Um, who do y'all think was the best referees in boxing? Rather if they still active or if they're retired. Doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Because they play a big role in these fights. Sometimes they are responsible for how the outcome is going to turn out. Um, because like I said, they get criticized on so much that they've stopped the fight too quick. They've took points from guys. Um, they won't let guys, fight the way they need to. It's just all kinds of crazy stuff. But it is what it is. This is boxing, baby. But like I said, 8 p.m. I'm back again for a third time tonight. The third time will probably be short too. Can't sit up here 2 hours. I gotta spend time with the missus. So I'm gonna definitely come back again. And I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow, um, afternoon, I guess we'll be back. I don't know what we're gonna speak about tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. We already spoke about this week's fights, so I'm probably not gonna speak any more about that because today was it. Might make some final predictions Friday. That's probably gonna be it. We'll have a big boxing talk Friday. But look, I love y'all. Be safe, be good. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is where it goes down at. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. No Doug Zone Podcast. Let's go.